Welcome to Have I Got News for You? I'm Steph McGovern. In the news this week, after receiving his mail-order practical jokes kit, one young scamp is delighted with the result of his new electric hand buzzer. After Boris Johnson fails to sign his Brexit extension request letter, Jeremy Corbyn shows him how it's done. And following a few drinks, the lads from the Brexit Ministry finally work out what to do with Stephen Barclay.
3, 2, 1...
On Ian's team tonight, a writer and columnist whose family has strong connections with the Duke of Newcastle. So do I. It's one of my favourite pubs. Please welcome Camilla Long. And with Paul tonight is an actor and comedian who studied divinity at university. Christ knows why was the title of his dissertation. Please welcome Miles Jupp. So we start with the biggest stories of the week. Ian, Camilla, take a look at this.
Oh, God, here it is again. November, December...
Cognac for one.
This is Brexit. Amazingly, it's still going on. Because I thought after last Saturday it was finished.
Yeah.
But apparently it's not.
It feels like it's never ending, doesn't it?
It's like a roller coaster, except it doesn't stop.
And it's not fun.
And you're on it forever.
Yeah.
But you are vomiting the whole time.
To be fair to Boris, though, everyone said he couldn't do a deal and they were wrong.
I love that phrase, to be fair to Boris. God.
I know, yeah, well...
What is the point of that?
And the EU said they wouldn't renegotiate the backstop, and they did. But Boris said he wouldn't send a letter to the EU asking for an extension. And then, of course, he sent 3 of them.
Yes.
Why?
Because he's quite babyish. And he was asked to send a letter, and he thought, if I send a letter and I don't sign it...
They won't know who it's from.
Exactly.
One letter asked for an extension, the other letter said, I didn't mean what I said in the first letter, and the third letter was to say, I've sent you 2 letters.
Can you imagine being his divorce lawyers?
What stopped him to send a 4th letter, though, explaining why he'd sent 3 letters? Shows a rigid self-discipline.
It was all meant to be sorted out once and for all on Saturday, but it wasn't. Who was really, really disappointed about that?
Was it everyone?
Yeah.
Peter Bourne. Do you know why?
It was his birthday.
Yes.
He made a speech. Have we got this?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Peterborough Festival, what do you make of what's going on today?
I'm fed up. It's been a complete waste of time. Nothing's happened, and it spoilt my birthday.
But he's obviously got into party mood by rubbing a balloon on his trousers and holding it above his head.
Whose Saturday ended rather surprisingly, then?
Was it Peter Bone? Did he get home and it was all the lights are off? That's a bit odd. And then suddenly, wait, surprise! And his friends had rearranged it all for him.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you a clue. It was the ERG leader, Steve Baker. What happened to him on his way home?
Did he tread in something?
Did he get knocked on the head and wake up speaking German?
When he was on his way home from the vote, he found an escaped wallaby. Let's have a look.
That really is a wallaby.
I bet he thought he was hallucinating, though, surely.
Yeah.
After the day he'd had. That's genuinely what happened to him on the way home.
Where does he live? New South Wales?
He lives near a zoo. It escaped, and he just spotted it on his way home.
What a pity it wasn't a tiger. Yes.
Robert Peston.
Yes.
He's made some wild predictions over the last few days. What did he predict Boris Johnson would definitely get?
Is it some sort of sexually transmitted thing?
No. Should we have a look?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not saying this with enormous confidence, but actually my bet now is that he does get his breakfast, his Brexit, either on the 31st of October or, frankly, not many days after that.
Yeah, so there we go. Frustrated pro-Brexiteers have been throwing around some pretty rude names this week, so I've got a game for you.
Yeah.
Cock, dork or buffoon. Are you up for it? I've got a prop
I don't know
as
if
well.
the phrase "Are you up for it?" at the end of that choice is Monday.
think they're things that Steve Baker's found on his way home on other nights.
Right, I've got a prop for you.
Dork or buffoon?
Is this a pilot or is this just a round?
Yeah.
This is part of the round.
This is what we're here for, Ian.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Yeah. So we've got John Burko,
Yeah.
Dominic Grieve, Oliver Letwin on it. So you've got to guess out of those three names which one they were called by an unnamed Tory source. So
No wonder you're leaving the BBC, I tell you that. This is what it's sunk to.
Yeah, it's very Channel 4, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be on about 10 o'clock after
Yeah.
me and my unpleasant diseases.
come on.
We ain't going to swap armpits for a fortnight.
Listen, lads, jealousy will get you nowhere. Right. You ready for the spin?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm busting. Dork.
Can I put in a vote for cock?
You think that John Burko has been called a dork?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't. It's Oliver Letwin. An unnamed Tory source said, Letwin's actions today have only gone to prove what some of us have thought for a long time. He's a complete dork.
I think as put downs go, that's pretty pathetic.
I know it is, isn't
actually.
it? Aye.
Dork, what a dweeb.
Yeah. Right, on to the next one.
Going to stop on Burko?
So does that mean that Dork's gone now?
Yeah.
Well, we've got Oliver Letwin again. Dork.
You're just cheating. You're bending the rules. We might as well be in Parliament.
Oh, well.
Let's carry on.
Yeah.
Dominic Grieve.
Buffoon.
No.
Oh.
Oliver Letwin has been called a buffoon. An unnamed Tory source said he's a prize buffoon who's been educated beyond his own intelligence.
Why have they said he's a prized buffoon?
Yeah, he's won awards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a prize marrow.
Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like this source is an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going stronger than that.
So,
Not till I'm on Steph's show. Then I'll just let it all hang out.
you will fit right in, Ian, definitely.
Will Ian be the dork, the cock, or the buffoon?
I'm going cock.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's not what I heard.
touche! All right,
This is the best part of the programme we've ever had.
I'm not going to bother spinning the wheel because the last one's cock and it's Oliver Letwin. Should we move on?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
We'll never top this.
Will there be other rounds where we can just shout cock, dork, or buffoon?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
What on earth is going on now? No, just in life, what's going on? What's the latest on what's going on with
Well,
Brexit?
there's going to be an election. The Prime Minister said, can we have an election on December the 12th? A sort of Christmas present for the nation.
Cancel all your nativity plays.
Yeah. We don't know if he's got it yet, because he has to pass a vote. The House of Commons has to decide they want an election, which they might not do, because a lot of them won't be coming back. So it's voting for a very long Christmas holiday.
Literally turkeys voting for Christmas.
But the mood was perfectly summed up by one minister who this week told The Guardian, I really have no idea what's going on. So if you really want to know what's going on, ask Norman Smith at the BBC. Have a look at this.
It also makes it increasingly unlikely that Mr Johnson is going to be able to get his bill and deal through Parliament by the deadline of October the 31st, because if you don't have a timetable, it's like trying to navigate your way from Muswell Hill in North London to Auchtermachty in Fife without a map. You're likely to get completely lost.
Boris's timetable for discussing the Brexit bill has been rejected. Why?
It wasn't long enough. It was 3 days. And, I mean, given that Boris hadn't read it either, I mean, they needed a bit more time.
Didn't someone say that they'd spent a longer time choosing their sofa than the 3-day deliberation?
Yeah, Carl Turner, the MP for Hull East, said that he and his wife spent longer choosing a sofa than we have to debate this incredibly important bill.
They might just be very indecisive, though. They might not get on. They might argue about everything, absolutely everything.
They might not have agreed on colour, fabric,
Yeah.
size of sofa. You know.
How long would it take you to decide on a sofa?
Us two.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I wanted one like the Coco Chanel one with the lips, wouldn't you? But you were all, oh, it looks a bit funny.
So the deal's been paused. How did Speaker John Bercow put it?
Oh, we just kept it very sort of simple, sort of undressy, just a brief summation, really.
He said the deal was now in limbo, to which Jacob Rees-Mogg replied, I think, theologically speaking, Pope Benedict XVI abolished limbo, so I do wonder whether the bill is suffering the pains of those in purgatory.
Cock.
Corbyn met Boris on Wednesday. What did they talk about?
Cock. Sorry.
I wonder if there's a quota of how often you can say cock on the BBC.
I expect there'll be a letter.
won't be signed, but...
According to the BBC, they did meet, but there was no meeting of minds. Nothing. What's been the reaction from the EU?
Just whatever. Are you still here?
They're arguing about it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because the French don't want to give us an extension.
What happens if they give us an extension of 5 hours and 22 minutes?
That sounds like a game show type event, doesn't it? Does anyone know what the withdrawal agreement is called in German?
No, tell us.
Right, well, you can pronounce it. Let's get it up on the screen.
That is... That's a fantastic...
Go on, Paul, have a go.
No, I couldn't begin to.
Correct, you get a point.
Very good.
You want to have a go? No. Try and get yourself a point.
Vertragsratifizierungsgesetzentwurf.
That's what I said. I'm doing my material.
What is the BBC going to do to make the news more interesting? And it's not get rid of me.
Oh, is this something to do with you being able to sort of talk to it through Alexa or something like that?
Yeah, it's so basically, in cooperation with Google and Amazon, they're allowing you to now talk to your smart speaker so you can skip the news you're not interested in. And then you can get more news on things you are interested in.
That'll make for a broad, educated electorate.
But you can play a practical joke on people by saying, Alexa, play David Bowie's Space Oddity. Now, everybody at home watching this will now hear David Bowie's Space Oddity.
I was watching something on my iPad
All you
earlier.
in your stories. Yeah, go on then. Let's hear it.
This is a bit of a salty one.
Is it?
No, I was watching something on the iPad, and in the programme, someone said the word Siri, and then suddenly it shut down, and Siri said, "What can I help with?" The laptop had interrupted itself, essentially.
And then what happened?
It was just one of the signs of the apocalypse.
Oh, fine.
I was actually at the gym when it happened, Steph, so I banged out another 20k on the bike. Yeah. Got some high fives from the lads doing benches. Is that what you do? Do you do benches?
Shut up,
You would-
Miles.
You're exercising in a woodwork shop. What's going on?
I asked the Google Pebble if the government could listen to me through the Google Pebble, and the Google Pebble said yes.
What is a Google Pebble?
A Google Pebble is the same thing as Alexa. You go, "Hey, Google," and it goes brrr, like that, and you say, "Play some soft rock," and then it plays soft rock.
Hey, Google, can you write me 1,200 words for the Sunday Times? Or whatever?
Cock.
Now, in our regular item,
Yes.
David Cameron book news. How has someone managed to improve the book this week?
Oh, brilliant. Can we see?
Improve it.
Yeah.
They've displayed it on a shelf in an amusing way.
Yeah, that was last week. What
Oh,
have
new
we done
cover.
this
They've
week?
done more,
Yeah.
because there was a funny cover on it last week. Where
So,
they...
yeah, so this is... they've added their own dust jackets at a
Yes.
bookshop in London. Let's have a look. Here's the back cover. I just want to zoom in on a quote here.
It's quite funny.
And particularly this tribute from Linford Christie. Horrifying and arousing in equal measure. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Breaking news.
Oh,
Election update.
ring a ding.
It's my
Okay.
equivalent of a soft pebble. Steve, tell us the news.
Okay. We've got an election update for you.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, Labour whips have sent a letter saying Labour will abstain, but Corbyn says he'll make a decision over the weekend.
Is this the fixed parliament bill attempt to get an election? Yes. So Jeremy's decided that he doesn't know.
Do you think any of this is going to make a difference, or is it
It
just
won't
going to
even be in the show, so I don't know what... It doesn't make a difference to anybody watching this programme.
So by the time this has gone out and the repeater's gone out, we'll know what Jeremy's decided.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to be on tenterhooks.
That's changed my plans. I was going to buy a sofa this weekend.
This is the news that October the 31st, 2019 will go down in history as Halloween. According to the Times this week, Theresa May has refused to comment on Brexit. I'm not sure anyone's asking you, love. Before the key vote, 21 Tory rebels were love-bombed by Michael Gove. Surely that's a clear breach of the Geneva Convention. Paula Miles, take a look at this.
OK, that's a bird making a bit of noise, as indicated by the meat. Oh, there he is again. And she doesn't like the sound of the bird. She's screaming because she can't stand the bird. It's a bird that makes a lot of noise, as loud as standing within 10 yards of an elephant playing the tuba.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the news that scientists have discovered the loudest bird in the world.
Yeah.
Before you start, it's not me. The white bellbird that lives in the Amazon.
Yes.
Specifically the male bellbird.
Male bellbird.
Do you want to hear it?
It's got a little sort of metallic ring to it, quite interesting.
It's a mating call, isn't it? Maybe the women of the female birds.
Women birds.
The women, the lady birds are a long way away.
The women bird is very deaf.
She is now.
According to expert wildlife publication The Daily Mail, they helpfully pointed out it holds its mouth open while it makes the sound.
Isn't nature wonderful?
Yeah. Can you name any of the things that scientists have said the call is louder than?
Yeah, an elephant playing the tuba. Jumbo jets, always jumbo jets come into it, don't they?
Pneumatic drills, always.
Yeah. According to the Mail, it's louder than a pneumatic drill,
Yeah.
Yep.
a chainsaw,
Yes.
and live rock music, such as Deep Purple. Did you wear earplugs when you used to go and see them, Ian?
Oh.
He was in Deep Purple for 5 years. He was in the band when they were called Mauve.
When it's attracted to a potential mate, how does the bellbird seal the deal?
Oh, he gives her a deal from the London Assembly to develop technology.
Does it tell Alexa to play some Barry White?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's more of our secrets.
Yeah.
Apparently, the male bellbird
Yes.
will twist round halfway through their song to blast the final note directly at the female.
Yeah.
What other unusual feature does the white bellbird have that might help it attract a mate?
What is that thing?
There's this
it's laying
big
it down?
donger out of its... Sorry. It's big donger. I'm sorry.
Hey, you're bringing the tone down, you are.
Yeah, you'll be straight on 4.
Scientist Mario Cohn-Haft told The Guardian it had a six-pack, which helped it produce a sound far larger than its size would suggest. So very much the John Burko of the animal world
Yes.
there. What can rats in America now do?
Drive tiny cars. I laughed out loud. Rats can drive tiny cars and collect food.
Yeah. Researchers at the University of Richmond have taught the rats how to drive to keep them calm.
Yeah.
Do you want to see them?
Yeah, absolutely.
How does that keep them calm?
Yeah, I know, like...
It's very
Driving
unfair
up
to
the
sort
wall.
of take them through a whole series of driving lessons and then put them into a Perspex box. You know, they want the freedom of the road. They want to drive from Arizona to Chattanooga.
Also, they...
Oswell Hill to Altamukti.
Yeah.
They can't be calm if they're on their own. It's other drivers that are annoying, not oneself, obviously.
So do you think that would be calming?
I'm just questioning the scientific validity of the study. With rats on their own, I think it's probably invalid.
So you need a family of 4 rats going, like, on a bank holiday.
Yeah.
What was discovered in Scotland this week?
Votes.
Not the Loch Ness Monster.
No, it's an archaeological researchers have used a computer to reconstruct the face of a medieval skeleton, which was discovered recently in Aberdeen. So here it is.
Strange, tiny face, yes.
Does it remind you of anyone?
It's a senior source in number 10.
The reconstructed skeleton guy looks like one of the 2 guys that have been arrested in connection with Rudy Giuliani, the Ukrainian businessmen. He looks like one of them, Lev and Igor. There they are, look, see? There we are. Now, why wouldn't you trust those 2?
In other news, what's 84-year-old Tony Bowman done this week?
Is he an Extinction Rebellion person because they're all over 75?
No. He's become the fastest 84-year-old in the world.
Did you jump out of a plane?
He was competing in the European Masters and won 3 medals in the 80 to 84 age category.
Oh, good for him.
So here he is in action.
That's pretty good, isn't it, for 84?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's the only one in the competition, like. It's impressive work, that, isn't it?
Yeah, incredible.
Because in his 70s, he suffered 2 heart attacks.
Oh.
So no wonder he's setting fast times, because now, of course, he's got a pacemaker helping him.
The lighter side of heart attacks.
This is the news that scientists have discovered the loudest bird in the world, the white bellbird that lives in the Amazon. Also this week, rats have been taught how to drive to help lower their stress levels. To make sure the tiny car was safe for the rats, it was test-driven by Richard Hammond. The rats would have driven further, but an Extinction Rebellion mouse glued itself to the top of the car. A grandfather from Leeds has become the fastest 84-year-old in the world after competing at the European Masters in Italy. After each race, veteran athletes provide a urine sample. They're not asked for it, it just happens. Tony Bowman is the fastest 84-year-old athlete in the world, despite having 2 heart attacks, the last of which was when the starting pistol went off. So to round 2, the picture spin quiz. Fingers on buzzers, team.
This is The Feud, isn't it? Prince Harry was on television last Sunday night, and following the lightest of questioning about his life, he admitted to having not great relations with William.
Yeah, because I'd read that and thought, I'm not sure that story's true.
Exactly.
Have they really fallen out? And then the top source appeared to be himself.
Yeah, so this is the news that there's a scandal brewing in the royal family.
Is it Prince Andrew? It wasn't terribly enlightening, the documentary. It was called A Journey to Africa, which got a brief mention, and then it was back to themselves.
He wasn't in charge of the edit, presumably. I mean, it's not like they were saying, do you want to talk about, those people over there? No. I want to talk about trouble at home.
I just think it doesn't help anyone, and all it's done is all the papers have then said, oh, look, they say it's really hard being under scrutiny, so the papers say, oh, how hard is it? Let's give you some more scrutiny.
I think that the media are incredibly respectful of them, actually, if they can go to parks and supermarkets.
We bumped into them looking for sofas, didn't we?
Exactly.
Prince Charles has complained that the row has ruined his work.
Work?
Oh, yes, this is the back, yes.
It's amazing the way people see themselves sometimes.
There were so many royal documentaries on this week.
But there's one about Prince Charles and Duchy original biscuits.
Prince Charles said he was very disappointed that Prince Harry's documentary was undermining his documentary, when the real documentary we should have been looking at was the one about Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein.
The biscuit one sounds good. What's that called?
Past the Duchy.
What awkward moment did Meghan have this week?
One of her cards got declined, didn't it, when we got to the...
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have any cash on her, so in fact, we had to buy it. We done it as a present.
Happy to help, happy to help.
Some woman tried to sort of bob down in front of her, and she went in for a hug, and it was incredibly awkward.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Love it. Straight for the tits. I mean, just...
Andrew and his PR machine have been busy trying to distance him from Jeffrey Epstein, but what evidence has emerged this week that suggests they spoke regularly?
There's 23 different phone numbers.
Yet Epstein had 13 phone
13.
numbers on which to contact the Duke. Why would you have that many phones?
He probably doesn't realise you can recharge them. It still lasts long. It was like £100, that wasn't it?
I used to work in a mobile phone shop, actually.
Did you?
Yeah. It's not funny. I used to be an ear piercing specialist at one point as
Did
well.
you? Was that
Yeah.
while people waited?
For their phones.
Did you only do the ears?
Yeah. Why? What? What would you like?
What are you after? Yeah.
It's fine, no, it's OK.
It's time for someone to shout it.
It's your turn, Ian. They could use it for the trailer, without any context.
You know, I think I won't.
Tonight at 9 o'clock on BBC One, Ian Hislop suddenly shouts cock.
Who did Prince Andrew describe as his rock this week?
He's rock.
Come on.
Fergie.
Judges of yours.
Yeah. Fergie is said to have made the remarks for Ferguson's 60th birthday, which was this week. According to The Express, the guest list at the party included Robbie Williams, Ellie Goulding, Downton Abbey creator Julian Fellows and Tariq Kaitouni, a Libyan businessman and gun smuggler who's previously been convicted on corruption charges, but remarkably still not the worst person at the party. Also this week, Prince Charles went to Japan to attend the enthronement of Emperor Naruhito. During the ceremony, there were shouts of Banzai, a traditional exclamation which means, may you live for 10,000 years, something which Charles suspects was also shouted at his mother's coronation. In other news this week, what has John Trenchard been doing with his leftover egg boxes?
I went to university with this man.
Did you?
What the fuck has he been doing?
Did you really?
What's he been doing?
Did he used to get through a lot of eggs?
Did he have friends?
Yeah, he was lovely.
All
With
right.
a beautiful singing voice. But now that seems irrelevant.
Right. He's built a miniature stately home based on several of his favourite National Trust properties.
That's fantastic.
Definitely him.
Wait until you see the next one. Look at his face in that. Look at the detail.
Well, none of that's come from egg boxes.
Well, it has,
No,
apparently.
he hasn't. How's he made those lights from an egg box?
Well, he's cut bits out
Battery hens.
and then pasted them. This week it was revealed that John Trenchard had built his own miniature stately home from egg boxes. It's so accurate, he's even made tiny figures of middle-class parents and kids bored shitless. This is the news that Harry and William have had a tiff. A source close to Harry and Meghan claimed they have single-handedly modernised the monarchy. Mind you, so did Oliver Cromwell. Fingers on buzzers, teams.
This is Donald Trump. There was 2 female astronauts in space, which is a good place for them to be, and I didn't see it, but there was some sort of confusion on his part talking to them.
No, they corrected him. He said, it's really great because there's never been a woman who's walked in space before.
Yeah.
And they pointed out quite politely that there had been. There'd been quite a lot, and actually they were the first 2 women
Yes.
who'd gone into space together. And then he did this.
He did what?
I believe it's called...
Flipping the birdie.
Flipping the bird.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Literally, when I take you on a night out in Borough, you can never say that like that. It's called flipping the bird. Have you ever been to Middlesbrough?
To Middlesbrough, but no, I'd love to come.
Yeah, excellent.
Let's go flipping birds.
Yeah, this is the gift that keeps on gaffing. Donald
Yeah.
Trump. First up, he threatened to withhold all funding to space unless an alien could dish some dirt on Joe Biden. Then he did this. Have a look.
This is the first time for a woman outside of the space station.
You don't want to take too much credit because there have been many other female spacewalkers before us. This is just the first time that there have been 2 women outside at the same time.
Wait until they put Luz up there. There'll be loads of us going in pairs.
I read it. I hadn't seen the footage. I'm not entirely convinced.
No, I thought it was a bit mild for him. I mean, he doesn't really hesitate.
That wouldn't he? Some people defended the president, saying he may not have sworn at the female astronauts deliberately, because one person told the Evening Standard, "It's hard to tell if it's deliberate or not. My husband's father used to use his middle finger to push up his glasses without thinking. He triggered a road rage incident when another driver saw him do that and took offence." In other gaff-related news, who else managed to embarrass themselves at a concert in Italy this week?
The Pope. if you've got the words to his hit song.
It's a conductor.
A
Have a look.
conductor? Nearly saw the brass section. The orchestra didn't stop playing, though, did they? Thereby demonstrating that the conductor there is rather useless at this point.
Unless he was using his other baton. This is the news that Donald Trump has been accused of giving the middle finger to one of the female astronauts. Trump talked to the female astronauts via a video link. To be honest, that's the safest way for any woman to communicate with him. It's the first time two women have done a spacewalk together. Here they are, both getting ready in the space station. Bit embarrassing, two of them at the same event wearing the same outfit. Also in the news this week, Justin Trudeau has been re-elected as Prime Minister of Canada. Justin Trudeau is now leading a minority government. Still not the first time he's represented a minority. When he was first elected in 2015, Justin Trudeau was seen as an inspirational example of progressive liberalism. Some of that polish has rubbed off, but that was after the photos were taken. Time now for the odd one out round. It's just one between you this week. Your four are a Saudi Arabian military band, a statue of Melania Trump, Leonardo da Vinci and Olivia Colman.
There was a story about a Saudi Arabian band which played the Russian national anthem badly when Putin turned up. And normally that would result in death.
So what's the connection then?
The connection is Olivia Colman
is the Queen.
Right.
It's not good, this answer, is it?
I think there was an incident with the national anthem in the States where I think Donald got the words wrong or couldn't remember the words or something like that, and she had to prompt him or something. Is that...
No.
Oh.
Right. They've all had their appearances criticised, except for
Leonardo da Vinci.
Except for the Saudi Arabian military band who had their performance criticised. The band were accused of mauling and mangling the Russian national anthem. Here's how it should sound.
Oh, together now.
Right, now let's see the Saudi band in action.
Yeah.
Putin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said they tried hard, adding, of course, it's not the Tchaikovsky Symphony Orchestra, although the band's leader was invited to an intimate performance of the Nutcracker. Other terrible national bands are available, though. Would you like to hear a Libyan rendition of God Save the Queen?
Oh, yeah.
That was performed for Boris Johnson.
To be fair, they are playing it on rifles.
What about, then, Olivia Colman? So she's taken over from Claire Foy in The Crown. Why is the former editor of the Daily Telegraph, Charles Moore, upset at the casting of Colman?
Oh, he said she had a left-wing face.
Yeah.
I've thought about this a lot, and I just don't know what that means.
Yeah. Charles Moore said that Colman shouldn't play the Queen as she has a left-wing face. He said it means slightly resentful looking. That's what...
She looks happy.
Yeah, I always think she's got a very cheery face.
Soft and quite nice.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
delightful.
But apparently he says it's...
Do we have a look at Charles Moore's?
Yeah, we do. What kind of face would you say he has? Let's have a look.
Looks like he's made of egg boxes.
This summer, a statue of Melania Trump was unveiled in her hometown of Sevnica. Why did it attract some criticism?
Because it didn't look anything like her.
Yeah.
It looked like a big sort of doll.
Yeah, it's not the best likeness of the
Have
First
a look.
Lady. Yeah, let's have a look.
No.
See it close up.
No, that's just an insult, isn't it? And that's just awful.
Yeah. Are you offended by this?
Well, yeah, I mean, who put themselves forward to make this statue and who said, yes, let's have a look at your previous work? Yes, yeah, that looks like a croissant in a tea towel. We'll have that. I mean, look at it. I mean, I could do that. I probably have done in my more drunken times. But...
So what did people say about Leonardo?
That he was ginger. It's true. According to The Guardian, the red-haired Leonardo was repeatedly lampooned and teased. But to his credit, he didn't whinge about it in an ITV documentary. While we're on the topic of Da Vinci...
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Would you like to play a quick game?
Yes.
As we're here.
So I'm going to show you a video of people dressed up as famous artworks, which is from a Halloween parade.
Yes.
So I want you, as they come on screen, to tell me either the artwork or the artist.
Are we on the buzzers or are we just shout?
No, just shout them out.
Just shout out, OK. That's Van Gogh.
Van Gogh.
Girl with
Girl
a pearl
with
earring.
Yeah.
Vermeer.
Picasso.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Lisa.
Mona Lisa, yeah.
Too happy?
Leonardo again.
Scream.
Munch.
Oh, no, that's Dominic Cumming.
Brilliant, that.
Melania.
Yeah.
It does look like that Melania one, doesn't it?
does, yeah.
They've all had their appearances criticised, except the Saudi Arabian military band, who had their performance criticised after performing for Vladimir Putin. Oh, well, makes a nice change for the Saudis to butcher a tune rather than a journalist. This summer, a statue of Melania Trump drew criticism for looking nothing like her.
It doesn't look like anybody. I mean, you sure it's not just a piece of tree?
A lonely Italian carpenter has also made a wooden version of Donald Trump, but for some reason, its nose keeps growing. Time now for the Missing Words round, which this week features as its guest publication, Letterbox Study Group, the newsletter for postbox enthusiasts. And we start with... Attendances at postbox events are decreasing because what?
A rise in the popularity of dogging.
Attendances at postbox events are decreasing because people can just as easily talk about postboxes in online chat rooms. This is, of course, an article from the Letterbox Study Group. The study group is also struggling to attract younger members, mainly because they can't work out how to open an envelope without double-clicking on it. Next. The highlight of the Midlands Postbox Enthusiasts meeting is what?
When the postbox collector of the year is announced and is given the copy of the magnificent Luton postbox that was visited by Queen Victoria in 1948.
No.
No.
I mean, if Queen Victoria visited in 48, that was one hell of an event. I'd like to have been there.
I know that Queen Victoria wasn't alive in 1948.
Yeah.
She played in the 1936 Cup final.
Oh, yeah.
As a substitute. Oh, his substitutes didn't come until 1966. Anyway, the highlight of the enthusiast meeting is when everybody turns to each other, drinks a bottle of brandy and says, let's go to the hotel room where we can discuss postboxes in the nude. Is that a first-class mail, or are you just waiting to be franked?
The highlight of the Midlands Postbox Enthusiast meeting is getting to chat to postmen about the postboxes they've dealt with over the years.
Dealt with? You didn't deal with a postbox, just shove things in it.
Oh, that one
Well,
on
there, yeah.
Victoria Street, that was hard to deal with. The way
Yeah.
it used to jump out at you all the time.
And finally, airport shut down after man steals what?
Runway.
Airport shut down after man steals cardboard cutout of Cliff Richard.
Well, how are the planes meant to land if they haven't got that?
Yeah, the planes were grounded at an airport in Portugal after a man smuggled a cardboard cutout of Cliff Richard onto his flight back home. The man now has a criminal record, mistletoe and wine.
Glad his rift with the BBC seems to be over.
So the final scores are Ian and Camilla on 4, Paul and Miles on 5. And I leave you with news that amid the rumours of a split within the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn calls a meeting of his closest supporters. In Kent, it's too close to call the final of this year's Mad Old Bastard competition. And after a night of heavy drinking, Jimmy the Rabbit asks, "Oh God, can you see him too?" Good night.
A trick-or-treat outing goes horribly wrong for Lee in a Not Going Out Halloween special, Wednesday at 10:35 here on BBC One. And Comedy in Court, Defending the Guilty. All episodes streaming now on BBC iPlayer.
Oh, we've got an update.
Oh, great.
More breaking news.
Oh, that means we won't be able to use the previous update.
Same one, guys.
Have they found a louder bird?
Yeah.